Hello everyone and welcome to this third video in the pawn opening series. Again, we will be dealing with the pawn opening versus thundering cannon defense, and this will be the third board, and we'll analyze another line which is similar to the previous board. If you have not watched the previous board, please do so. So without further ado, let us begin. Pawn opening, thundering defense. Red goes for the central cannon again. Black in this variation plays e7 plus 5. So h8 plus 9, a prophylactic move as mentioned in the previous board. h2 plus 1, so far so good. 9 equals to 8, okay. And black in this board, black develops his right chariot as a ranked chariot. Now if instead he developed it as a foul chariot, red will immediately form a blockade. Red would beef up his central file. Both colors will be developing their material, but as can be seen from the board, red would have a huge advantage because all his pieces are ready to go. The horse is ready to travel to make red mischief. 3 black pieces are hemmed in by 2 red pieces, and this horse will not have too much of a trouble being developed later on. So r1 equals to 2 is not a good idea, and with r1 plus 1, black would be prepared to traverse the cannon either to r1 equals to 4 as mentioned in the previous board, or r1 equals to 6 as will be discussed in this board. It develops the right horse. This is for relatively balanced development of the board of the pieces, which follows one of the opening tenets. Another alternative choice, because black had played r1 plus 1, he could now consider p9 plus 1, which is slightly slower but more precise. So red would choose to mount a rapid attack from the flanks. Now this board is a little bit different from the previous board because of the development of the chariot. h2 plus 3, r1 equals to 6, r1 equals to 2, a6 plus 5. Now, although moving the advisor has to be done somewhere along in the game, but doing so at this time is quite dubious because black had failed to understand the situation. Although his original intentions were to strengthen the defense, but this move actually created an opportunity for red to exploit. Instead, the recommended move would be to play p3 plus 1 to attack, and black would capture back the lost pawn and be able to add a lot of pressure on this file. But this will be a dubious move, and it will also be the position of discussion, and there are 2 main counters that were discussed in the book. The first will be p9 plus 1, the other would be c8 plus 6. Now to variation, let us go to variation A, p9 plus 1. Now the idea behind this move is that red wanted to develop his left horse, his edge horse, to attack from the flanks, but unfortunately this would be a missed opportunity for red to increase his initiative. Black would play r6 plus 3 for a relatively steadfast approach. r6 plus 4 is also okay for a more aggressive approach that will lead to complicated situations. So h9 plus 8, p1 plus 1, p9 plus 1, and red will now capture the central pawn. h8 plus 6 to dislodge the red cannon, h6 plus 5 to beef up the central file and allow for development of this horse, e7 plus 5 defense. And although red acquired a central pawn, but black's chariot was very flexible. It could play r1 equals to 2 or attack other pieces as necessary. c8 equals to 6, and after forcing a trade of material, black can recapture the lost pawn, and it will be a rather even situation for both colors. So it will appear that p9 plus 1 is not a good idea for red in this situation. Now let us go to variation B. Now this would be the recommended move. Because black had played the advisor, this would actually act as a cannon mount for the cannon to attack the chariot, thus giving red control of the sword rank so early in the game. And this move would also serve the purpose of blocking the elephant from protecting the horse, and this would make this horse very vulnerable. And from this move onwards, black's position would now be under a lot of trouble, and this would be why the title of the botman, paralyzing halfway down. Black's position now is would have a lot of trouble getting development. So let's say black tried to counter attack the horse. Red will protect the horse. P3 plus 1. Red was trying to find some form of compensation for his should his edge horse be lost. Now, what would happen if he played h8 plus 6 instead? Red will first dislodge the chariot. Now notice a6 plus 5 is correct, a4 plus 5 is not as good because of the threat of a smarted cannon checkmate. So retreat, and red will now prepare to now block the pieces over here and readjust his position. Now black would have a hard time dealing with the situation. The chariot cannot move, otherwise the horse will be lost, and this horse will not get any good development for the time being. So black tries to find some form of compensation with p3 plus 1. Again dislodging the chariot, forcing it away, and red will now be very aggressive and attack the cannon rank, black's cannon rank, with r8 plus 7. Now this tactic will be a continuation of advancing the cannon earlier on. p3 plus 1, c5 equals to 7 to offer a trade of cannons. Now this is a very light and agile move because red had understood that black's most formidable defense lay in his linked cannons. So by offering a trade of cannons, if black accepted, his position would be greatly weakened, and red will be actually in control of his cannon rank, thus making it very difficult for black to further deploy his material. Now, let's say if instead, what would happen if red decided to capture the horse instead? Now this would go against the Xiangqi adage of never be in a hurry to capture that material. If red was in a hurry and became greedy for material, he'll be faced with black's severe retaliation. So r6 equals to 2. The cannon, threatening the cannon, if it moved, the elephant would capture the chariot, so forcing the chariot to move away. Black would capture the elephant, sacrifice his other cannon, and be prepared to go for an attack with his cannon and chariot combination. The king has to move, a check, and now black would have the opportunity to create a complicated situation where he could fight back. So that is why r8 equals to 9. Being greedy for material is not a good idea, because if the chariot was still on this file, black would not be able to play r6 equals to 2. So c5 equals to 7, offering a trade of material to break down black's defense is a very good idea, and black had to accept. Now it is obvious that p3 plus 4 cannot be played, because black would be more than happy to deliver a check and gain material, because now the horse and the cannon are both under attack at the same time, and red would have a significant advantage. So r2 plus 5, trading cannons, h8 plus 6 to try to dislodge the chariot, and red retreated his chariot nicely, threatening the pawn, dealing with the issue of this pawn at this point in time. If he mistakenly played r2 plus 1, thinking that he could gain material, black would be more than happy to sacrifice material, and he will be this would be a pseudo sacrifice early on because red would be forced to lose his horse now. Red's earlier efforts would have been made in vain. So R9 equals to 8. Trade of material. As can be seen, black would lose a piece and probably the game. But because now the cannon cannot move, it moved away, the chariot will be captured. If it cannot move here or here because both intersections are covered by the visor, it cannot move the central file obviously because the elephant would be guarding it. So red will win for sure after, in this position because he will gain a material. So this is a short board, but it will demonstrate several tactical themes like pseudo sacrificing and blocking, breaking up the links between the pieces. Now, one thing about the board, in variation B, C8 plus 6 was a good opportunity, but P9 plus 1 was not because red was overly dogmatic and did not seize the opportunity to increase his lead as fast as possible. Now let us view the board from the eyes of black. Pawn opening, thundering cannon, central cannon, E7 plus 5. Since E7 plus 5, red develops his left flank. Black does the same thing, and then goes to 8. And black chooses to develop his chariot as a file chariot, which is okay. H2 plus 3. Another alternate opportunity would be P9 plus 1 because black had developed his left chariot, and this would be drastically different from what the main line showed. R1 equals to 6, R1 equals to 2, and dubious move A6 plus 5, giving the cannon a cannon mount to attack the chariot. Variation A, P9 plus 1, too slow, too dogmatic. R6 plus 3, and red tries to mount an attack from the flanks. After trading material, the cannon attacks the central file, dislodges the cannon, the horse gets development. E5 plus 7, R1 plus 2. This is a very powerful move, threatening to play R1 equals to 2. Black has to move, but the horse will now be prepared to do damage. So this is an even situation and black can be very happy with this one. Variation B, C plus 6, the recommended move, attacking the chariot, forcing it away. R2 plus 2, P3 plus 1. If black played this move, after a few rounds, the black pieces will all be under attack and black will be more than likely to lose material. A6 plus 5, retreating, and now red would target this horse. B3 plus 1, black tries to find some form of compensation, and red is not in a hurry to take the horse, because if he did, black would be given a chance to gain back lost material and form an attack. C3 plus 5, a trade of cannons, but now, as can be seen, after trading material, red would have control over the cannon rank. And red will retreat his chariot from the threat of the horse and deal with the issue of this pawn. Everything is done at the nicely at the right time. If R2 plus 1, it will be a blunder because after trading material, black will actually play R8 plus 7 to gain back material. So R9 equals to 8. After trading material, red gains a horse. Black tries to attack the horse, whereby red will use the tactic of a pseudo sacrifice and gain back lost material. So this board shows several tactical themes. Please do review them closely several times to understand the brilliance of these moves. So if you like the work that I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.